Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ruhi Rajput, and I'm a nutrition and health coach specialized in Ayurvedic dietetics and nutrition. And today we are here at NirogStreet to talk about diet, how one can follow diet. Okay, how one can follow diet as per their prakriti. Also, we will touch on two specific diseases where diet is a very important requirement, which is diabetes and high blood pressure. So to let's start with Prakriti. I'm sure most of us here would know how, what Prakriti is and what doshas are in Ayurveda. Doshas are the base and the fundamentals of everything which revolves around in Ayurvedic medicine, herbs, and food. So when we say dosha, it's about five elements: water, air, space, fire, and earth. So and we as human beings are also made up of these five elements, and so these doshas are there in us, and either one of them or two of the doshas are dominant. So a person can be a Vata Prakriti dosh, or a Pitta Prakriti, or a Kapha Prakriti, or someone who would be a combination like a Vata Pitta, Pitta Kapha, or a Vata Kapha Prakriti. Okay, so we need, somebody who if somebody who is not a doctor and does not know how to find out about their prakriti, they can always take a test. You would find lot of online tests where you can figure out about your body constitution, or if you if you are not a doctor and you would visit an Ayurvedic doctor or any practitioner, they can always tell about their tell you all about your prakriti as well. So to start with, the Vata Prakriti person will have a erratic, here we are focusing more on the food, so we'll talk specifically about the digestion and the metabolism part. So a Vata Prakriti person has very erratic metabolism, and sometimes they will feel hungry, or sometimes they will not, sometimes they will be able to digest the food well, sometimes not. So generally they are very much prone to problems like gas, bloating, constipation, and things. So, if somebody is a Vata Prakriti person, according to the rasa, obviously we need to give them food which is sweet, sour, and salty, and avoid various type of food which is astringent, bitter, and spicy in nature, or amla in nature. So and they need to avoid food which are dry like popcorn, makhanas, and even if they are having dry fruits, they should have fruit soak the dry fruits, because otherwise almond like dry fruits and seeds are very helpful for a Vata Prakriti person, but they need to soak them first. And also we need, if somebody is of a Vata Prakriti, we need to give them small meals, not small exactly, but meals which are on frequent basis, so that they are a binger. Generally they like to eat, snack up more, so it is more important that we give meals in between. Also also to say, like there are you can give them like oil. That fat is very very important for a Vata Prakriti person. So now when we talk about fat, we need to understand there is a difference between good fat and bad fat. So ghee obviously is a good fat, but a refined oil isn't. So we need to give them good fat. So when I talk about good fat, and one of the very important thing which is written in the books, also in the samhitas also, that majja is important for a Vata Prakriti person. So it is important that you can give them, if it is a non-vegetarian person, chicken bone broth is a very useful useful thing, for useful food which can be added to their diet on a daily basis. Now let's move to a Pitta Prakriti person. The Pitta Prakriti person has a very strong metabolism, but they are very much prone to acidity and heartburn, and maybe they will get loose motions very quickly because spicy food doesn't suit them. But they also lose weight also fast. So it is important that we give them diet which is heavy in nature, but which is cooling in nature. So things like adding dhania, mishri, or rose water, or sandalwood, or saunf, and other grains, grains which are cooling in nature, like amaranth, jowar, kulthi dal, all these things definitely, like mot, moong. These are cooling in nature, and they will help them also to keep their diet in a proper system. Now now when we come to a Kapha Prakriti person, that is where most of the problem occurs, because they have a very slow metabolism. They tend to gain weight very fast, and because of which their indigestion is also very irregular. They would not be able to they digest food very fast, and then they will start feeling heavy, bloated most of the time. Plus they have a tendency to gain weight. So when it comes to a Kapha Prakriti person, we need to understand that we have to give them light food, obviously not very oily food, not much of sugar. While a Pitta Prakriti person can have sugar, but a Kapha Prakriti person has to avoid sugar to an extent. And because of that, like, it is important that instead of giving them more of fruits, which are fruits and raw food, plus also in a Kapha Prakriti person, they, because their digestion is not strong, they cannot assimilate different kind of foods every day. So it is if you give them same type of food, like supposedly if somebody is on a diet and you give them like same type of food for 4 days, there, or same food in a day, like if you're giving rice, give them food of, say, of which are made of rice, like idli, and then you give you rice and dal, and at night probably a dosa, then they will be able to, their body will assimilate that food better than any other person. So I think this is more or less about Prakriti. Also, I would like to touch upon how doshas affect in a dincharya, when we in a daily routine. So Kapha, obviously Kapha is high between 6 to 10 a.m. And if generally we have this concept that you need to eat. You need to eat like a heavy breakfast in the morning. But if somebody is a Kapha Prakriti person and you give them heavy food, heavy breakfast in the morning, their Kapha will increase and it will not help them lose weight. So it is important that you give them a light breakfast. And if somebody, like, generally between 10 to 2 p.m. Pitta dosha is active. So when Pitta dosha is active, you need to tell your patients or your clients that you need to have your lunch within this time frame. If they are having their lunch after 2, obviously their metabolism is going to slow down and they will not digest their food properly, which in turn will not help them to lose weight again. And also and Vata, obviously Vata is high between 2 to 6, where it is important that most of the patients or clients, they eat a wholesome snack, not just have a cup of tea and forget about eating, or they should not even have any raw food at that point of time. So it is better you suggest them to eat something wholesome, like maybe a sandwich, or a cheese, or sprouts, or like a chila. So these kind of things will definitely help them, other than just having biscuits and tea in the evening. I think more or less I have covered about Prakriti management. Diet management as per Prakriti. I'm sure we'll be getting questions, but let's just go to diabetes after this. Diabetes, obviously, either it's type 1, type 2 insulin resistant, or there is no inadequacy of insulin in their body. So if there is inadequacy of insulin in their body, the person needs to take insulin. But obviously we can manage, we can control blood sugar by following a right diet pattern, which is very very important in diabetes. So to start with, if we look at from modern science as well as from like Ayurveda, like in the morning kapha is high. So anyways, once when a diabetes person wakes up and have something which is more which is more heavy or carbohydrate based, their sugar is going to shoot up very fast. So it is important that they have something which gradually increases the sugar level in their body, because anyways they haven't eaten anything since whole night. So just like have you can, if somebody is a non-vegetarian, you can tell them to have probably egg whites in the morning, or have like 7-8 soak almonds first, then egg whites in the morning. And if somebody is a vegetarian, you can give things like sattu, green moong sprouts, or black chana, things like that. And and then obviously it is important that a diabetes person consumes smaller meals in throughout the day. Like you need to understand, like in Ayurveda also they have very clearly mentioned things which are kadwa, that is bitter, or kasela, astringent in nature, will help will help a diabetes person control their blood sugar. So you can start, like you can give them jaw. It's very specifically mentioned that jaw is very helpful in case of madhumeh. Then jaw, then there are fruits like jamun, you obviously karela, which is karwa, neem, haldi. And also you need to understand, like very specifically now moringa has become very popular, but sehjan, like the vegetable which we used to eat otherwise also, it's very helpful. And why sehjan is helpful? Because sehjan has good amount of potassium in it, which helps in regulating lot of hormones when it comes to diabetes. And okay, so I think this is more or less. And obviously there is no as such thing that you cannot eat certain food when you have diabetes. You can eat everything, but what is more important is that how you maintain your macros, what is the amount of carbohydrate, protein or fat you are eating, and what kind of carbohydrate you are eating. So if it's not that a diabetes person cannot eat, like cannot eat a banana, or cannot eat any rice any day. It's not like that. It's just that you have to know, like how much quantity one can eat. So that is very important in diabetes. That's why counting the calories and macros are also very important. Okay, now the last part is about blood pressure. Okay, so blood pressure, mostly it's been seen like it comes equally with when a person with obesity. So a person who will obese generally are tend to get blood pressure or cholesterol. So diet management is again very important in that case. And they need to first, if somebody has blood pressure, obviously the focus should be to lose weight and to work out every day. Exercising is very very important. And one of the main reasons is the sodium content in their body. So salt obviously has to be reduced. But now other than just having processed salt, it is important that a person with BP, like how it has been mentioned in Ayurveda, start using sendha namak on daily basis, instead of just using sendha namak on the days when you are doing brath. It is important that you start using sendha namak or any other rock salt on daily basis. And obviously water content needs to be good, so that your body is not retaining extra water. Plus things like again moringa, sehjan has been noticed that they really help in controlling blood pressure. Then you have watermelon seeds. Watermelon seeds have and we need to give them food which is high in zinc, potassium, So when I say zinc, like cashews, and pumpkin seeds, and potassium like coconut water, and your watermelon seeds and figs. So all these things will help in regulating their blood pressure, along with grains like jowar, amaranth, ragi, obviously barley, because magnesium is very important in that case. And so I mean, these are, and plus when it comes to the oil part, like obviously when a person has BP, you would tell them to avoid extra fried food and all, but what kind of oil you are suggesting them is also important. So if and it is important that that refined oil is not given. Either they use ghee, or they use, if a person is a Kapha Prakriti person, so they start using mustard oil, safflower oil. If person is a Pitta Prakriti person, whether they should use ghee or sunflower oil, which is cooling in nature. Plus right amount of spices, like for BP, garlic is very very helpful, and for diabetes, methi is very very helpful. So these things has to be added. I mean, there are so many spices which are available, and that needs to be added in the diet on a daily basis. I guess I'm mostly covered most of it. So if there are
So now this is time for some question answers.
Okay.
And like most of the people are commenting the questions. So we have a question from Isha Anija. She want to know like how to decide the diet on the basis of Prakriti.
on the basis of
Prakriti.
On the basis of Prakriti. So, Isha, you need to first find out what is your Prakriti. So, either that you can do, I mean, there are a lot of tests online available. You can go and take it and find out. And you need to understand what is your metabolism nature. So, how good is your metabolism, how good is your digestion, how good is your assimilation of your nutrients. And once you understand that, you would know, like how to eat and what to eat. So if you are a Vata Prakriti person, like I said, you should avoid eating raw food. You should avoid eating dry, light food. You should try to like have more of nuts, and like dal and stuff like that, and sweet food. Like when I say sweet, I don't mean sugar, I mean like wheat, or any grain which has sweetness in it. And similarly, Pitta and Kapha Prakriti can also, what we had already discussed earlier, can eat.
Okay.
That way.
We have one question from Jitendra Kaur. Like in summer days, how much garlic they can eat per day?
Okay, there is nothing like how much. It is again depends on how your body how your body tolerates or metabolizes that amount of garlic. If you are a Pitta Prakriti person, any day too much of garlic will give you in heartburn or acidity problem. But if you are a Kapha or a Vata Prakriti person, garlic will always help you. So it is better, it is important that you add garlic every day, but you need to understand like how much your body will accept it.
Okay. Ma'am, we have one question from Ashik Hussain. He want to know like why we avoid dry fruits in Vata Prakriti and why we soak them.
Okay, so see, Vata Prakriti person cannot, when they eat something dry or hard, it is against it. It goes against their Prakriti. But otherwise, if you see nuts like dry fruits has good fat in them, so which is actually good for Vata Prakriti person. So that's why it's important they soak it. So when they soak it, the dryness, the nature dryness goes away, and it helps them to it helps Vata person once they eat it after that.
Okay, ma'am, we have one question from Dr. Satinder Singh. Like how to decide breakfast, lunch, and dinner for summer season.
Okay. Okay, so for summer, when you say summer season, first we need to understand that you need to eat according to season. So if you are in a summer season, it is important that you eat fruits and vegetables which are available in summer only. So don't go and start eating a gobi and a matar which is not available, or like palak, which is not available in summers. So and then, so obviously, and because it's summer, you will see like the vegetables which are available in the market, like loki, tori, all are cooling in nature, and it will help you keep your system cool down. And eat your fruits in the morning, because we get a lot of variety of good fruits in summer, like watermelon, papaya, mango. So eat your fruits in the morning, and eat whatever is cooked in the evening. So don't eat anything uncooked in the evening. And dahi and all also, you can have it during lunch, not in the evening and at night.
Okay, then we have one question again, like can diabetes patient have rice?
Yes, diabetes patient can have rice. There is nothing wrong in it. I had also touched upon this earlier. Like you know, it's not like how much, how what you eat. It is upon also how much you eat. Like when when you are eating rice glycemic index is at moderate level. But when you put ghee, when you put like protein in it, like dal or chicken or paneer, the glycemic index goes down. So obviously rice is not harmful, but you need to have in an appropriate quantity. You need to understand how much your stomach can take it.
Okay, ma'am, again we have one more question from Ashik Hussain. We want to know that, like, is it advisable to give stringent food in Kapha Prakriti person?
Astringent food.
Yeah.
Yes. If you see a kapha, when you see the rasas which suits a kapha prakriti person are spicy, that is pungent, and astringent and bitter. So yes, astringent food will always help a kapha prakriti person, because astringent food helps in absorbing water. So a jaw, or a barley, or a jamun, or or your kacha banana, kacha kela, all will help. Are kasela, they are astringent in nature, and they will help in absorbing extra water which is in kapha prakriti person.
Okay, again we have one question from Isha Anija. She wants to know that whether they can eat the garlic raw or cooked it.
You can eat garlic raw. You can in the morning, that is fine. But preferably raw garlic is more helpful during winters. It is better to eat cooked garlic in summers.
Ma'am, again we have one question from said that I am not eating much still. There is no weight loss. Kindly recommend me some food which can help in weight loss.
Okay, so again, if you eat less and you are not losing weight, I mean, that one thing we need to understand is what is your Ayurvedic body type. So if you are a Kapha Prakriti person, your metabolism is slow, and you're eating even less, then your metabolism is becoming slower. Your body will not, your body goes in a starvation mode, and they don't burn any fat, because they feel that it's like they feel like like your body will not get any extra food in future, and they need to they need to restore the amount of fat which is available. So it is important that you first understand your prakriti, and add more, add food which will improve your metabolism, like mustard oil, like spices like garlic, ginger, ajwain. They're deepen, they will increase your metabolism. And then start eating, gradually start eating more, so to that you understand that your body needs certain amount of calories. If you are eating like 800 900 calories, your body will not burn fat. You need to eat right amount of calories to so that your body will start burning it.
Okay, ma'am, again we have one question, like, what is the best time to eat food?
What is the best time to eat food? Okay. See, fruits. Okay.
Sorry,
Okay, so that's what I was thinking. Best time to eat food. Okay, so the best time to eat fruits is in the morning. First of all, because that is a time when kapha is high and raw food, kapha prakriti, when kapha dosha is high, raw food can get absorbed better. It's because it's light. Secondly, if we look at from modern science also, our liver restores its glycogen level, which is required as energy in the morning. So, when you eat fruit, the glucose which is released from the fruit goes directly to your liver, whereas later part of the day, it is changed to fructose, which is not very helpful.
Okay, ma'am, so as we are moving from summer days to rainy days, so according to Rithucharya, what kind of food we should include in our diet
Right.
these days, and like what are the best eating practices as per Ayurveda?
Right. So this is, I think, a very nice question because mostly when rainy days start, the Vata Prakriti is at Prakop, they say. So when Vata Prakriti is dominant, we first thing which we need to do is stop having any kind of raw food. So please stop having your any raw, the idea of having salads needs to be stopped. So and that is very important. Plus during this season, because there is so much of rain that the soil that the soil releases certain amount of toxin which goes in leafy vegetables. That's why your palak and methi and all this stuff needs to be stopped. And if you see, because vata prakriti is high, we need to eat fat. And if you see, it's a very beautiful concept which is there in our tradition, is that in barish ke mausam mein, in rainy season, we want to eat more pakoras and bhajiyas and all this stuff. So it is healthy. It is, I'm not saying that you eat fried every day, but if you are eating fried in rainy season, it will not harm you. So once or twice, if you want to, if it's raining and you want to enjoy your pakoras and your puris, go ahead and do it. It will definitely help.
Okay, ma'am, again we have one more question from Isha. Like, she want to know what is the best time for taking milk.
Best time for taking milk. Okay. See, generally, you can take warm milk at night. It with maybe little bit of haldi, kesar, or you can put 1 teaspoon of ghee in it, and salt powder, like dry ginger powder. It helps. It helps you to clear your stomach in the morning also, and it will be good and helpful. And otherwise you can also take milk, probably either in the afternoon, like between 2 to 6, when you are having like a snack or something, or after 10. So I will not say to have milk between 6 to 10 a.m. in the morning when kapha is high.
Okay, so we had some messages from our viewers, like Ashik Hussain. He's telling thank you, ma'am, for your knowledge.
Yeah.
So thank Ashik. Ma'am, like as we have some time limit, so we have to wrap up. So like any message you have for our viewers or for NirogStreet family?
Yeah, I think NirogStreet is doing a wonderful job, and I'm very happy to be a part here today. And I hope that whatever knowledge, I'm sure most of the people who are following NirogStreets are doctors or who are pursuing to become Ayurvedic doctors. So, and I'm sure they have much more knowledge than me in terms of samhitas and medicines and all. But we need to understand that one of the very beautiful proverbs which has been mentioned in Ayurveda is, it said that when food is wrong, medicine is of no use, and when food is right, medicine is of no need. So I think they need to follow this. They need to make, just not only look into the medicines which are mentioned in the book, but also figure out what are the kind of best food. There's so much of knowledge given in terms of food also, and this is an like a asset which we have. Instead of just going and following Western diet, we need to bring our Indian diet and our Indian heritage back to the world.
Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you, Ruhi ma'am, for giving us your precious time and coming to take this FB live session.
Thank you.
And thank you viewers for watching the FB live session. For those who have missed this session, this video will be available in our FB page, so that you can watch it later. Okay. So
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.